Hey, Joan. Wendy? Oh my gosh, I didn't think I'd be hearing from you again. I know, I made Josh a promise that I wouldn't reach out to you guys when you broke up, but I miss you. I miss you too, Wendy. I always thought of you as a sort of second mom for all those years. I never got to tell you how sorry I was about how things ended with your son. It was such a horrible breakup. I know it was. Josh still feels pretty upset about it. How is he doing? If you don't mind me asking. I think of him from time to time. I hope he's doing okay. Well, I'm not going to lie. He was a mess after things ended with you. He wouldn't leave the house. He even stopped eating for a few days. His father and I feared the worst, but then he turned a corner. He started a new job, and he's moved into his own place. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for Josh. I was pretty beaten up too after our breakup. You can't be together with someone for 6 years and not be, but I do feel bad about the circumstances that we never got to clear the air. I tried to reach out to him, but I didn't get a response. Well, if it's any consolation, I did try to reason with him. I even suggested he reach out to you. I had this hope that you guys would get back together, but you know Josh, he's so stubborn. He's just like his father. There's no reasoning with him. He's an emotional guy. I know. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you for reaching out to me and letting me know about Josh. I was so afraid you'd hate me as much as Josh does. I don't hate you, Joan. I thought of you like a daughter. I thought you would be part of my family for the rest of our lives, but I've been around long enough to know that things change, and I don't spend my life crying about the things I can't control. You thought it was the right time to end things with my son, but I'm not going to force anyone to stay with my son because it will make me happy. You're a very forgiving person, Wendy. That's why we always got along with each other. I see a lot of myself in you. And like I always said, if you guys ever broke up, I would still like to continue our friendship. Me too, Wendy. So, with that in mind, I have a favor to ask you. Oh yeah? Shoot. Well, Josh would be really mad at me if he found out I was asking you this, but Dan and I have been invited to a work event on Friday night, and we can't get out of it. We have no one to babysit Laura. Josh is out of town for the evening, and he usually agrees to babysit his sister, but I have no one to turn to on such short notice. Laura was always very fond of you, Joan. She would feel comfortable with you babysitting her, so would you mind? That is, if you're not busy. Well, I'm free, actually. It's your lucky day, but just to make sure, Josh won't find out about this, will he? No, and anyway, he would hate me for it more than he would hate you. I'll just tell him that Maddie from next door is babysitting. Okay, well, if you're sure that is. Really, you'd be doing us such a favor, and Dan and I will pay you for your time, of course. You don't need to do that. No, we insist. Well, if you insist. Thank you, Joan. Dan and I owe you big time. Just promise you'll keep putting in a good word for me with Josh. I can't stand the thought that he still hates my guts. I will. So what time do you need me on Friday? 7 p.m. is fine. Laura will already be in bed, so you don't need to worry about reading her a bedtime story or anything. Just watch TV and relax. Perfect. I'll be there at 7 on Friday evening then. See you then. Hey, Brian.
Hey, babe. How's babysitting going?
It's boring. I'm just sat in my ex-boyfriend's parents' house watching TV. Just your typical Friday night. No fun for me tonight.
I still don't really understand why you're doing that for your ex-boyfriend's mom, especially since you've got a new boyfriend now. Me.
I'm sorry, Brian. It's weird, I know, but Wendy was very good to me for so many years, and I feel awful about what I did. What we did. I would have asked you to come along tonight, but I don't know if Wendy knows I'm already dating you.
That's okay. Hopefully Wendy and her husband won't be at this work event for long, and you can come around mine after.
Well, that sounds nice.
What are you watching?
It's a stupid documentary about bees. They're going extinct, apparently.
That's not stupid.
Well, the subject matter isn't stupid. It just has this really goofy narrator.
Well, that sounds funny.
It actually is funny for a show about a species going extinct. Wait a minute.
What?
I heard something.
On the TV?
No, from upstairs. Sounded like a loud thud or something.
A thud?
Yeah.
Maybe Laura woke up. That's her name, right?
Yeah, Laura, should I go upstairs and check? I mean, I have a baby monitor with me downstairs. I can literally hear her breathing. Sounds like she's still fast asleep to me.
Maybe it's just the wind. It's a windy night. Things get knocked around.
Oh my God.
What?
It's happened again.
What does it sound like, Joan?
It sounds like someone is in the house, or at least trying to get in.
I don't think you should go upstairs, Joan. It's not safe.
But Laura's upstairs, Brian. She could be in danger. My job is to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, okay, but stay on the phone. Text me, and make sure the light on your phone is turned down.
I'm scared, Brian.
It's okay. Just go upstairs slowly and quietly. Where's the address?
What do you mean?
I mean, what is the address of the house where you are currently babysitting?
128 Portman Drive.
Okay, that isn't too far. I can be with you in 30 minutes. Do you want me to drive to you?
I think so, yeah. But can you stay on the phone? Like, keep texting me even though you're driving?
Yeah, that'll be okay. My phone has voice texting technology.
Okay, I'm going upstairs. Slowly. The door to Laura's room is open.
Was it like that when you got here?
I don't know. I haven't been upstairs yet. But Laura's door is usually closed. At least that's what I remember from when Josh and I used to babysit her.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that anyone is in the house right now. Do you feel safe enough to go into her room?
Yeah, well, I don't feel very safe, but I also don't have much of a choice. Okay, I'm going in. I'm opening her door slowly. She has a nightlight on.
Look around. Do you see anything unusual?
No, she's just fast asleep. Oh my God!
What?
There's that noise again. It's coming from outside in the landing. There's someone out there. Laura's awake now.
Is there a closet in the bedroom?
Yes.
Okay, I need you to quietly get Laura, and I need you to both hide in that closet, but do it as quietly as possible. Try not to make a sound. Don't scare Laura. Just say it's a game you need to play as silently as possible.
Okay.
When you're in the closet, let me know. Remember, make sure your phone is silent and your light is turned down too. I'm calling the cops right now.
We're in the closet.
Okay, brilliant. Can you hear anything?
Oh my God, Brian!
What?
I think the person is in Laura's room. I can't be sure.
Can you see out of the closet at all?
No, but I think I can hear footsteps.
I'm not far away. Just hold on. If someone opens the closet doors, then kick them. Take Laura and run. Run as fast as you can. You hear me?
Okay, Brian?
Yeah?
Tell my parents that I love them.
You can tell them that yourself.
The doorbell. I can hear banging on the door. Is that you, Brian?
No, I'm still 20 minutes away.
Oh my God.
What is it?
I can hear Laura's bedroom window opening. Someone's jumped out of her window. I can hear someone yelling. There's a lot of noise.
From outside?
Wait, someone's come through the front door. It's Josh. He's calling me. I recognize his voice.
Leave the closet.
I can see someone running away across the lawn through Laura's bedroom window. They're wearing a baklava.
Oh my God. What about Josh?
He's here now. He's in the room. I'm going to talk to him.
Okay, the cops are on their way, and so am I. I'll be there soon, Joan. Hold tight.
Hey, Wendy. Hey, Joan. How are you holding up? Good. Well, I'm still pretty shaken up. I bet you are. That must have been so traumatizing for you. I can't imagine how terrifying that must have been. Did the cops say anything about who they think it was that broke in? No, they said there had been a few breaking and entering burglaries in the area lately, but they haven't been able to find a suspect. They think it might have been a drifter, but they're not sure. Did they take anything? No, thankfully nothing was taken. How did they get in? Through our bedroom window. Dan had stupidly forgotten to lock it before we left. We're both so sorry, Wendy. It must have been such a relief to hear Josh's voice. It was. He rescued you. Well, it was a big coincidence. In fact, I've been thinking a lot about that lately. Oh, yeah? Yeah, there are some things about the night. Things that don't quite add up. Don't add up? Yeah. Care to explain? Well, for starters, when I was hiding in the closet, Laura didn't look scared. Well, it would have been quite a shock for her, too. Well, I was trembling in fear, but she seemed fine. And she said something when I took her into the closet. What was that? She said, "It's Daddy. He's playing a game." Oh, she was probably confused, half asleep. She was probably playing with her dad in her dream. Yeah, that's what I thought too, except another thing doesn't sit quite right with me. What? When Josh entered the house, he called my name. He shouted, Joan. Joan, are you there? How did Josh know I was in the house? If you had promised not to tell him that I was babysitting Laura, and then the cops show up, and before Brian has even arrived, you're home. It's as if you had only been a short drive away from the house the whole time. What are you suggesting, Joan? I don't know. Do you want to tell me? Because I heard someone jump out of Laura's window. That's a long way to fall. And when you and Dan returned to the house, Dan had a limp. A limp he didn't have when you left for the work party. You think you're quite the amateur detective, don't you, Joan? I was shaken up, traumatized, so I didn't see how strange things looked at the time. But it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure things out in hindsight. Figure out what? You set the whole thing up, didn't you? Me? Don't act dumb with me, Wendy. I know it was Dan in the house. He left the bedroom window open on purpose. He snuck in, woke Laura up, and told her to play a game with him. And that game was to terrify me. And then what, Josh swoops in, the white knight comes to save the day? What was the plan, Wendy? That I would just take Josh back? Or was it just to watch me squirm? I'm sorry I left your son. I am sorry I cheated on him with Brian. But that is no excuse to play a psychopathic game with me, to traumatize me. Do you not think Josh was traumatized when you did the things you did? He wasn't my son anymore. He couldn't go on without you. He was so lost, so hopeless. I couldn't see him suffer like that. He said you would never take him back, that it was hopeless because you were in love with someone else. So I proposed to him a plan that would help him win you back. It would involve you babysitting Laura, and Dan would pose as an intruder, and before anything happened, Josh would chase Dan out of the house and come to your rescue. Are you insane? Do you even realize how dangerous that is? Anything could have happened, Wendy. Dan could have been hurt. I could have been hurt. Laura could have been hurt. And for what? The romanticized possibility that I might see Josh and fall in love with him again? It's completely insane. Are you going to tell the cops? Brian would tell me that it was a no-brainer. Heck, I have your confession in this text conversation. But no, Wendy, I'm not going to call the cops. Josh has suffered enough, and I don't want to see you all go to jail over something so stupid. Thank you, Joan. I just can't believe we did this. Me neither. It's literally unbelievable. But it's time to let go, don't you think? You all need to let go, Wendy. I'm in love with Brian now. Josh and I had our time, and I am so sorry it ended the way it did. And you must all have wanted me to pay, but this was not the way. Josh is a good guy. He deserves to find happiness. Orchestrating some elaborate burglary was not the way to help him. You would never have got hurt, Joan. You have to believe me. It's like you said, Wendy. Things happen in life that aren't in our control. This was one of those things. Anything could have happened. You don't know that I wouldn't have been hurt. I'm so sorry. I speak on behalf of my whole family when I say I'm ashamed. It was a terrible thing to do. It was, but it's over now. I think I might need some therapy, but as long as I never see any of you again, I'll be fine. I understand, Joan, and thank you for not going to the cops. It's only because you've been so kind to me over the years that I'm not. But if I see any of you ever again, I'll go straight to the cops. Okay, I promise you won't. Good luck with everything, Joan. And I've compensated you for the evening. I've wired $10,000 to your bank account. Goodbye. The night was a truly terrifying experience, one that I will never forget. It gives me some solace to know that Dan never had any intention to hurt me or Laura. People can do the strangest things sometimes. I genuinely hope that Josh finds happiness and can get over the heartbreak of our relationship ending. Some people really will go to crazy extents for love.